Thanks for tuning in. Ham Talk Live will be on the air shortly. Please stand by. This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by Tower Electronics. For connectors, cables, and more, call 920-435-2973 or visit pl-259.com. And by ICOM. Heard it, worked it, logged it. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information about ICOM radios.
It's Ham Radio.
Good evening, everyone. It's Ham Talk Live, episode number 193, Holiday Gift Ideas and Ham Holiday Traditions. Recorded live on Thursday, December 12th, 2019. I'm your host, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ham Talk Live. Tonight, we're joined by Katie Allen, WY7YL. From Ham Radio Outlet, and we'll take your calls live in just a few minutes. Last week, Bryant Rascal, KG5HVO, was here to talk about the December Yoda month. And if you missed that show, you can listen anytime at hamtalklive.com or your favorite podcast app or YouTube, or catch the rebroadcast on WTWW. 5085 AM, Saturday evenings at about 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So get your questions ready to go for Katie. We'll be talking holiday gift ideas tonight. If you're listening to us live on Thursday night, you can call us after the interview by telephone at 812-638-4261. We'll give that number out again here in just a minute. It's not time to call just yet, but we'll give it to you so you have that number ready to go. You can also tweet us. It's at Ham Talk Live on Twitter. So we'll be watching that throughout the night as well. We've already got some tweets firing around. But again, the phone number is 812-NET-HAM-1, 812-638-4261. So I'll be back with Katie right after this word from Tower Electronics right here on Ham Talk Live.
Hey, honey, have you seen the PL259s anywhere?
No, I haven't. Come on, kids. Let's go. There's just one place to go for all of your connector needs.
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
A giant warehouse of connectors and adapters for every occasion. Thousands to choose from in every shape, size, and color. And they have antennas, soldering supplies, cables, meters, and more. Where do you go if you want to buy a connector at a fraction of retail cost?
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
And this weekend only, take advantage of our special liquidation sale. Buy 9 solder-type PL259s, get the 10th one for just 1 penny. They make great Christmas presents. And what better way to say I love you than with the gift of a PL259?
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
Tower Electronics.
Hi, I'm Scott Cole, KB9AMM, president of Tower Electronics. I like the company so much that I bought it.
Tower Electronics, coming to a Hamfest near you, or online at pl-259.com. And we're in the yellow pages under Amateur Radio Connectors.
My, wherever did you get that lovely PL259?
Tower Electronics, pl-259.com, or call 920-435-2973.
Do we sell PL259 connectors?
All I want for Christmas is to listen to another episode of Ham Talk Live.
Thanks to Scott and Jill at Tower Electronics for sponsoring the show again tonight to help bring Ham Talk Live your way each and every week. They will be at Plant City, Florida, the Ham Fest there just outside of Tampa this weekend. That's the 13th and the 14th. Plant City, Florida. You can catch Tower Electronics, or you can visit them anytime over on their website at pl-259.com. Katie Allen, WY7YL, is a former ARRL staffer who now lives in Wyoming, and she is the social media manager for Ham Radio Outlet. She's also the co-host of the W5KUB Amateur Radio Roundtable, which airs live on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern at W5KUB.com. She's a member of YLRL. She has earned her DXCC and is a frequent poster of cats in the Ham Shack. Is there a hashtag for that now?
I think there might actually be.
I was thinking we had a hashtag for cats in the Ham Shack, but
I think there's a thread on QRZ that has cats in the Ham Shack. That might be it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Well, anyway, Katie, welcome to the show, and we'll keep posting more cat pictures.
Absolutely. Well, I have no shortage of them. I have about 10, so it's not a problem from my side.
Yeah. Now, Allie, she just is just the one, and she makes an appearance on the show here every once in a while. You'll hear meow back in the background. But right. I ran across an old video from when I was probably 6 years old or so, maybe still 5. And I was copying code on the air, and the cat was sitting on top of the radio and just started batting the top of my pencil while I was trying to copy code. And it is hilarious. You'll have to.
Oh, I bet.
You'll have to go over to YouTube.
Share that.
And, it's on YouTube. It's on my QRZ page, so you'll
all right.
Have to check that out. But yeah, the cat was just trying to copy code for me, I guess. But well, hams can be difficult to shop for because we'd all love to say, well, a nice ICOM 7610 would be a really nice gift. But a $3,000 radio may not always be in the budget. So right. We're a little hard to shop for sometimes because some of the stuff we want is kind of expensive. So let's start off with some holiday gift ideas for the ham that won't break the bank.
All right. Well, I definitely can do that for you guys. I had some fun shopping around on our website at hamradio.com to get some ideas. And, we all love those shiny new HF rigs and dream about having one under, in our new shack. But, because there's so many facets to ham radio that there really isn't a shortage of affordable gift ideas out there. And what's really kind of great also is that sometimes your family can find some neat things that are great to not only have in your shack or for out of shack activities. And so I picked out a few items that I thought would be fun to share. And I'll be tweeting them out for everyone as well. So anybody who's listening and hanging out on Twitter, you'll have an easy time finding them. So one of the first things I thought was really kind of cool is this neat little lantern and spotlight from Nebo. And I have to say, I never forgot it because I nearly blinded myself at a ham fest checking one out once because I opened it up the wrong way and was like, whoa!
No.
But and these things are bright because they've got a 300 lumen lantern and 120 lumen spotlight. And the lantern itself lasts nearly 8 hours if you're running it on high. And it's nice and small. It opens up to a whopping 8 inches when you're all done. And it's only like $17 when all is said and done. And, like I said, that's something that you could use anywhere, not just in your ham shack. And then, I was still thinking about lighting because it's always an issue in the shack, whether there's always corners or different places that need better lighting. And if you have a shack like mine where you have shelves with books and all kinds of stuff happening, there's always something you're having a hard time finding. Well, West Mountain Radio has this really pretty slick little LED light strip. I saw this when we were in Milwaukee for the HRO Superfest earlier this fall, and they had them on display in their booth. These LEDs provide some consistent lighting. They produce little to no heat. And, they're great not only in your shack, but you could use it in your car, in a truck, camper, in a boat. And I tell you, I am not kidding. These things are bright. I was, laughing with Ed from West Mountain Radio when we were at Superfest checking it out. And he says, he was actually a little surprised. He says, these are super popular. People are really liking them, and they're nice and bright. And, and again, with the LED, you have no problem in the shack. So I'm going to go a totally different route now. Here's a really neat stocking stuffer idea. $7. I mean, $7 is a great price, for a stocking stuffer. This is an item called bongo ties. Now, you might have seen these if you ever pop into any of the HRO stores or at a ham fest, for example. But basically, they're a cable tie that has this awesome grip, and it has these little bits of bamboo on the end, and you can use it on so many different things, not just the cables in their shack, but I've used it actually for when I'm traveling and I need to wrap up the cable with my hair dryer. I mean, but it works out really well. Tim, who's the owner and CEO of the company, he sent me a bunch of them to give away last year. I think it was at Hamcation. And not only were people excited to be able to pick up a couple to take home, but I had so many people say, oh, you know what, I have these. Every time I stop in the store, I always pick up an extra bag because they're so useful for so many things. And again, you get a pack of 10 of them for $6.95 or something, and makes a great little stocking stuffer. And again, it's something you could use for not just hammy stuff, and it's an easy, simple gift that you can use for so many different things.
And there's always a cable that needs to be secure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They multiply.
They do, and I just was thinking, when I was just down at our Plano store not too long ago, and I was taking some pictures of this nice display of those, and I'm like, I really need to bring home some of these, and then I managed to go home without any in my, within my shopping bag, so that was one of the reasons I thought about it today. I'm like, those are a really great handy thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So another idea I thought, now this is a little bit more expensive. We're getting closer up to the $100 range, but this is a really neat thing. PowerWorks has this crimp bag. It's got a power pole crimping tool for 15, 30, and 45 amp contacts. It's got an interchangeable accessory die set, and it comes in this really neat nylon bag. I mean, obviously everybody's idea of breaking the bank is a little bit different, but this would be, obviously more of a little more significant of a gift. But this is something, again, that anybody could use because we're always needing that kind of a tool in the shack or around the house. And then I thought one last thing would be kind of fun to share as a neat gift idea. And it's the MFJ World Map Clock. Now, hopefully you'll check it out when I am tweeting it out here so you can see what this looks like. This is really a nice looking clock. It's got an LCD world map on it where you can actually change, select an area on the map and it'll let you know what the time zone is on that part of the world. You can have it display in either 12-hour or 24-hour displays. Everything in our house is, the 24-hour time zone. And so you can keep an eye on all of that. It's really attractive, and it makes a nice gift at about $40. So, there's kind of a variety of some neat ideas that you could suggest to a family member or a friend if you were looking for a neat gift. And, we go anywhere from, $7 up to $100. And, I think those are some kind of fun things that aren't so difficult for a family member who's maybe not a ham to try to figure out what to get you. Because, if they're not familiar with your radio or your microphone needs or, things like that, then these could be some really handy gifts that, anybody could use in their shack.
Yeah, some of those gifts get kind of touchy because, you got to get the right version for the right rig and
right.
all that kind of stuff. And so, it's kind of easy to get the wrong thing. But with these, I think you made some great choices there because, everybody can use the flashlight. Everybody can use the wire ties, and there's just a lot of things that we don't always think about that, yeah, okay, that would be a really great gift for a ham.
Right. And, and then also whoever might be buying for you, they don't have to necessarily know what your specific radio brand is or your specific interest or, for example, right here sitting on my side of the shack next to me is my MFJ voice keyer, and got it set up for the contest for sweepstakes. And then we had a problem on my side of the shack, so I didn't end up using it. But the 10-meter contest is coming up this weekend, and I'm going to get it ready because I want to play in the contest. Well, I was thinking, that'd be a really neat idea, but unless you're somebody who's going to sit on the air for hours on end, or maybe you don't use voice at all, you don't want to necessarily say, well, that's a great idea for everybody. And that's why I was trying to pick out something that would be some ideas for people. So no matter what they like to do with their ham radio, it's something that they could probably use.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about some of the other things, maybe a little more expensive here, but there's some good deals going on. So let's talk about, I know there's several special deals going on for this holiday season. So let's talk about some of those and how that might make shopping a little bit easier.
Yeah, you betcha. Well, we did. We just had, obviously, we've all survived Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Green Monday and whatever all those days are called. I think new holidays keep getting invented every year, but
yeah,
of course,
yeah.
We want to make sure that we provide the best deals for everybody all the time, but especially holiday times, we do what we can to knock down the prices as low as possible. And so we've got some special holiday happenings. And if you go to our website at hamradio.com, you'll notice there's a neat little holiday banner right there at the top, and all you have to do is click on it. And it'll give you a list. We've got, it says HRO's Extra Holiday Deals. So when you open up that page, you're going to see a listing of quite a few items. So for example, like the ICOM remote control software, the BA one, it's on sale now for basically $110. Or if you want to grab a really nice HF rig, the ICOM 718, between the holiday discounts and a rebate, you could get yourself a nice little compact transceiver for $540, and that's and that is a good solid radio that is not going anywhere, and it's just one of those staples that you can't go wrong with. Another example, like the Kenwood TS480 SAT. Now, this is a 100-watt transceiver with a built-in antenna tuner. It's normally about $1,100, but with all of the holiday savings, it's now $839.95. And that one is really nice, too, because it's really built for the DXer, and but it's such a nice, neat little compact radio. And so that's something, someone might be interested in checking out. And then, of course, Yaesu, they've got almost a dozen items that have rebates available on them right now. For example, if you wanted to grab the FT70DR handheld, for $155, you can get on System Fusion, get on UHF, VHF, and then you could get a $30 rebate from Yaesu. So by the time you're done with all of that, you've got yourself a really nice new little handheld for $125. And then, of course, because it's Yaesu, they have 3-year warranties on all of their items. So it's totally a win-win for everybody. It's just, that's just a brief sampling of some of the things that are there. But if you go to hamradio.com again, and you just click on that holiday banner right at the top of the page, you can check out all of the specials that are there. And those will be going right through into the holidays. So any last minute, if you live close to a store and you really want to make sure you get something in time, then I highly recommend that you pop into one of our locations and check stuff out. And of course, we have our display areas with the live radios hooked up to antennas. So if you've been really kind of wondering how a radio operates, you can go in, sit down, and twirl some knobs and test her out. And it's really a fun way to be able to get a good idea of what you like about a radio and have a side-by-side comparison. So if you've been, weighing out, one radio versus another, this is a really good way that you can go sit down and check it out.
All right, and then let's talk a little bit about, I think there's some items that just every ham should have. Maybe it's tools, maybe it, gears. I don't know. So, what are some things that just every ham should have one of these?
Well, Neil, I'm glad you asked me that question because I just happen to have a couple. I just happen to have a couple of ideas, but I have to start out by saying, if you had asked me that a year ago, I would have something totally different in mind. But because recently I've been playing around with some new things, I'm kind of stoked about these SDR plays. Now, you might have seen that I just did a video for Ham Radio Outlet on our YouTube page about getting the SDR Play RSP-1A set up. It's like 3 minutes, and I hooked it all up, downloaded the software, and got that up and running. And I tell you what, it is really slick. It's funny because my husband watched the video, and he's like, I want one of those. And I said, well, get online and buy one. He says, well, you said in your video you're bringing one home. I'm like, I didn't really mean that. You got to go buy it if you want it. Which he did. So when he got it home, we've got it hooked up down here in the shack. And, I used to be kind of the mindset, like, why would you just want a receiver? Because if you can't talk to anybody, what's the point? Well, I tell you what, I have seen the light, because all you need is your computer and an antenna, and it's amazing what you can listen to. When you integrate it with the software, you basically have multiple receivers going on, and you can see what's happening all over the bands. And with the SDR Play, it also comes as a duo, which means you can now have a dual tuner wideband, full-featured SDR, and you could simultaneously monitor two completely different areas of the spectrum at the same time. Because, again, it's duo, which means you get to hook up two antennas. And then there's now the newest edition of the SDR Play family, which is the SDR Play DX. And that incorporates all the features from the previous versions, but now you can monitor up to 10 megahertz of spectrum at one time with 3 antenna ports. And, starting from $109.95 up to the $219.95 for the Duo, and the brand new RSP DX, which is about $199.95, in the couple $100 range, you can have this really great receiver action going on in your shack. And it's, like I said, it's so simple to use. And the spectrum that it covers is just astounding. And I really like the idea, say, if you're contesting, or just say maybe you're searching for one of these de-expeditions that is out there, but maybe you're on one of your local nets, you can have your SDR Play hooked up, monitor what's going on elsewhere, do what you want on the radio, and then what's happening, and then click on over. And we are just right now we're in the process of setting it up so that we can also use JT65, and discovered, you have to download a virtual audio cable and hook it all up. And but I tell you what, it is some really slick stuff, and I've completely changed my mind about it after having an opportunity to play with it and visit with Steve Brightman from SDR Play while I was at our Plano store. Really neat thing to have in your shack. And like I said, if you had asked me a year ago, that's not even anything that probably would have popped up on my mind in terms of something that a ham should have. But it's definitely on my list of things that I think is kind of cool.
Now, I came home with one of those from ARRL headquarters at Teachers Institute this summer, and we got the single version, but we used it to, like you said, record this whole big chunk of spectrum, and then you can go back and you can pick out whatever frequency you want to listen to at the time. And so you're getting all these different things. So if you're afraid of, missing something that's coming on because it's not exactly on the right frequency, like sometimes, bulletins, they got to move the frequency a couple of KC because, somebody's on there. But with this, you can record the whole thing at once, and then you can pick out what you want to listen to later. And it's really cool. We used it for a lot of the satellite telemetry and that kind of thing. So you could just record it all, that it was coming down, and then you can worry about processing it later. It worked really well. So what are some of the other things that every ham should have?
Okay, so here.
Oh, I've
been playing around with.
There you are.
Oh, there we are. Sorry about that. Okay. Phew. So I was just starting to say another item that I've actually put on my wish list, because I've been seeing a lot of it this past year everywhere, between at Hamfest, in the store, on YouTube, everywhere. It's the ZumSpot. It is, when you pair it up with the Raspberry Pi, it's your software, and you have a digital hotspot in your house. So if you don't have a repeater nearby for your System Fusion or D-Star or Motorola DMR radio, no problem, because the ZumSpot solves it by allowing you to get into those systems. You can, buy it as a kit and build it yourself, or buy it fully assembled, and you literally give yourself access to the rest of the world. So, and it's really a very affordable way to do it. So let me give you this sweet example. So for about $300 total investment, you can get around the world. So like right now, one of our specials we have going on is the Yaesu FT3200DR. It's a 65-watt, 2-meter C4 FM digital mobile transceiver. It's normally about $170. And between the holiday specials and a Yaesu rebate, it's now $109.95. Okay, yes, I just said that. $110 to get a nice 2-meter System Fusion radio. Okay, so now you've got your radio. Oh, and don't forget, because it's Yaesu, you got a 3-year warranty on it. Okay, so now you get the ZumSpot kit. Have a little fun and build it yourself. That's about $155. So now you've got a fully functioning digital hotspot and radio in your shack to get you around the world for about $300. And what's really super cool is so if you're on your, it could be DMR, it gets you through P25, System Fusion, DMR, and a couple other modes that I don't even know what they are, to be honest with you. I saw them, but I didn't want to talk about them because I just don't know what they are. So I need to do a little research of my own, but I'm like, what does that thing stand for? But, so those are a couple other things that I thought, just give somebody an idea, because so many times I know I see on a lot of different discussion groups, whether it's like Reddit or QRZ or just on some of the different Facebook groups, people want to be able to, talk around the world, but they are afraid of some of the prices because, getting into HF isn't cheap. Obviously, it is a little bit of investment, but something like having a hotspot, like if you live like I do, kind of in the middle of nowhere, fortunately, we do have a couple of repeaters around here, but I don't have a System Fusion repeater nearby. I do have a D-Star repeater nearby. So if I had a D-Star radio, I would be able to use that. But if, say, I picked up this nice little 3200, I wouldn't be able to get into anywhere. But if with the ZumSpot, all of a sudden I have access to a whole new world with this nice inexpensive radio. So it's just another way of looking at some new ways of doing some things that I think are, kind of fun and affordable, and a way to get you to try some new things on the radio. And as I said, these were things like a year ago I really didn't even think about or thought it would be anything I'd be interested in. And having some exposure to meeting some of the guys that created these, like, one of the super things about with a ZumSpot is, it's all engineered and created here in the U.S. This is what he does full time for a living, and has brought it into the ham radio world. And so, it's just kind of a neat thing. So I think, and obviously, when you talk about the basics, there's so many options out there. We could sit here way beyond the time that you have scheduled for your show to talk about everything that we all should have, because ham radio is so vast. We should all have an operating manual. We should all have a handbook. We all need a power supply. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to take it just a little bit off to the side and say, for people to have some ideas about some fun things they could do.
All right. Some great ideas from Katie Allen, WI7YL at Ham Radio Outlet. And we're going to take a break right now, but when we come back, we're going to talk about a lot of these tweets that are rolling in here tonight, and we'll take some phone calls. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about some ham radio holiday traditions. So we'll do all of that when we come back after this word from ICOM America right here on Ham Talk Live. Wish it, wrap it, gift it. Step up your gift-giving game this year and get your favorite ham the transceiver at the top of their list. ICOM offers a variety of high-performance and innovative products. Make the most of this holiday season with one of these ICOMs today. The IC7610, 'tis the season to give your favorite ham the SDR they really want. This high-performance SDR has the ability to pick out the faintest of signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent ones. The IC7610 by ICOM is a direct sampling, software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has RF direct sampling, 110 dB RMDR, independent dual receiver, and dual digicel. The IC7300, ham for the holidays. ICOM is changing the way entry-level HF is designed. This high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design will far exceed your expectations. With RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, a large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope, and an SD card slot. The IC9700, this transceiver is at the top of every ham's wish list for this holiday season. Keep your competitive contesting edge with faster processors, higher input gain, higher display resolution, and a cleaner signal. ICOM's IC9700 is the pinnacle of perfection. It has a 4.3-inch color touchscreen, dual watch operation, and full duplex operation in satellite mode, a real-time high-speed spectrum scope and waterfall display, voice recording with an SD card, and support CWAM, sideband, ready, D-Star, and more. Visit ICOMAmerica.com/amateur for more information on these ICOM radios.
Join the conversation. Give us a call at 812-NET-HAM1. That's 812-638-4261. Now, here's more Ham Talk Live. If Denny's is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, why are there locks on the doors? Now, here's Neil Rapp with more Ham Talk Live.
ICOM enjoys hams being radioactive in addition to the various contests and ham radio activities that ICOM supports. They are also a proud supporter of Youngsters on the Air, or YOTA, and December is YOTA month. And there's YOTA stations on in all 3 regions of the world. So work one or all of the YOTA stations around the world and help create some excitement about our wonderful hobby. And you can check ICOM out at ICOMAmerica.com/amateur. Ham Talk Live is on the air every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at hamtalklive.com. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and it's time for your calls now. So if you have a question for Katie, give us a call. That phone number is 812-638-4261. You can tweet us at Ham Talk Live. We've got a whole bunch of those to go through here. And if you're listening to us on WTWW or on the podcast edition, I'm sorry, but we're not here anymore. This is in the past, so we're not going to be around. So sorry about that.
We're already gone.
But yeah, we're already gone. Too late. But you can see all the tweets, and you can catch up with everything that we've talked about here tonight. And we are going to talk a little bit about a couple of traditions here in just a little bit. But let's see if we get some phone calls here. And we also have several tweets going on, some people chiming in with their ideas as well. But one I wanted to be sure that we catch. The ICOM remote software, the RSBA1, I think it's version 2 now.
Yes,
is on sale. It's reduced from $149 to $109.99, and Bill WZ1L wanted to know when is that holiday period ending for that particular promotion?
Oh, sure. That particular special ends actually on Christmas Day, so it expires 12/25. So I would venture a guess, since it's usually, if it's by the day, then it's midnight Eastern Standard Time for that special. And it looks like we've got it in stock in a couple of stores. And so no matter where you are, we can get it to you.
Okay. Yeah, he mentioned that he was at the store in Salem, New Hampshire, and I guess they told him you'd have to get it from the Anaheim location. So so they can get that for you wherever.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting it shipped in from one location to another. And yeah, that's not a problem at all. And that should be seamless for you, Bill. Shouldn't have to worry about where it's coming from. We'll take care of it for you.
Okay, and we've got several tweets about antennas, so we'll switch over to antennas. Jeff WE4B says,
I know Jeff. Yeah,
the satellite ops,
of course.
An arrow antenna is never a bad way to go. I've got two now, and they're handy.
Yep, they are. You can't go
satellite. You can use them for fox hunting. Can't go wrong.
And he's from Wyoming. You know that, right?
Jeff?
No, not Jeff. Tim.
Oh.
No, Arrow Antennas. He's here in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off there. You're
great.
Like,
okay. I was thinking about Jeff there. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. We've got some more antenna things. Chris says he's going to be down at Plant City, so he can get some stuff down there. And then A4CB says everybody needs a new antenna. So, there's always some antenna stuff. Carl KD9HQT says, what dual band mobile antenna is better, which have the same antenna gain, but the cost is different. MFJ, Diamond, is the brand really worth the extra money, I guess, is what he's asking.
Well, that's a really good question that, I honestly am not the right person to answer because I'm your social media manager, not the sales experts like our stores. And of course I have antennas on my cars and I'm also friends with all of the different manufacturers, and they all have great aspects to them. But but all joking aside, what I always tell people is to, touch base with one of our stores, because those guys and gals that work in our stores are the ones that do this all day long, and they know all of our products. And what's mind-boggling is how many things that we actually do carry. And when someone calls in with a question like, I have a Ford F-150 and an ICOM 7100, and I need to know, what kind would be the best antenna, because I don't want to drill a hole in my new truck or something. And our team is just on the ball with the right kind of information because they do this all day long. And so they would be the right person to be able to, guide you along in terms of what product would work best for you, where you live, what your needs are, and within your budget. So that would be my recommendation, is to give any one of our stores a call. We have 13 around the country, so we cover all the time zones for you.
And Brett WY7BG, another Wyoming.
The Wyoming ham.
Says an inexpensive HF rig. He recommends the Zygu. 20 watts, ideal for digital, remote activation. And says HRO is about 450, somewhere in that neighborhood for the Zygu.
Yeah, the G90, and that's a 20-watt multi-mode. And it looks like, I think we just drop ship it to you, but it's the first model in that new G series, and it's portable, 20 watts, 10 to 160 meters. And that's one of the newer radios, and I know that it's coming through MFJ, and it's pretty slick little radio. I forgot about those. Thanks for bringing that up, Brett, because that's another good one out there that I've been seeing. Quite a lot of people have been pretty impressed with this.
And Brett also mentioned, there's some personalized ham radio items on Etsy. I mean, you can find some stuff on there if you want shirts and, a shirt that says resistance is futile, and or
our friends at Ron and Amy at Gold Medal Ideas, they you see them at all the big ham fests. I've got a few of their t-shirts, and call sign hats are always a great idea as well. And so there's all kinds of neat things out there.
All right. 812-638-4261 is the phone number. Trying to go through all these tweets. We've got a ton of them tonight. So let's see. We've talked about most of these, I believe. So I think we're pretty well.
I'm scrolling through my feed here too. Make sure I missed anything.
There's one. I forgot about the one right before the show. Actually, WA4CZD wanted to know: has a price been announced for the new ICOM 705 QRP rig, or any guesstimate on that? So we'll let you answer that.
Yeah.
one.
Well, unfortunately, no, not yet. And obviously, we are all anxiously awaiting it, just like when any new radio comes out, all just dying to know what the price is going to be. But I think once, I believe, obviously, it's usually we're just waiting for the final FCC approvals. And then as soon as that's done, then all of the details will be released. And I sure hope we see it at Hamvention next year. That would be sure nice time to have a new radio out. But that's just me guessing. I have no idea. But sorry, no idea on the prices yet. I haven't heard anything. But I think that radio is going to be quite a hit.
Yeah, I think so. It's a very unique radio, and with a lot of different things, practical uses for it. I think that's
right. That's
a great thing. Now, I'm one of those life is too short for QRP people, but
my husband says
the portability, the portability of that thing, and the ability, for some satellite stuff, that could be a good option.
Right.
So
and if you're just dying to make sure that
that one,
yeah. And we do have an option. You can reserve it on our website for $35 so that when it does finally come in, you'll be at that top of that list. And then that gets, put onto the total amount of the actual radio. But so you can, if you're willing to unload $35 for now to make sure you're on the list when that beauty does come out, you can just pop onto our website and go ahead and get on that list. I know that happens a lot with new radios, and that way, because every time there's something shiny and new out, there's always people that want to make sure they get it first and don't want to have to wait. So that's the way you do it. Get your name on the list.
All right. Well, let's see. Something about. Please insert the Baofeng sound effect now. I'm not. We have the Baofeng song. I didn't remember. I didn't hear anybody mention the word Baofeng, but here it is, Carl. It's Christmas. Okay, so there it is. Okay, let's see. We had another one. I need the special discount. Oh, okay. That goes to you, I think. I need the special discount code. Okay. All right. So, 812-638-4261. We're going to finish up here. So last chance to call in, and we're just kind of checking over all the tweets here tonight. Some good participation from the listeners tonight. So,
thanks,
appreciate that. That always makes it a whole lot more fun when people actually call in or type into a call-in show. So that's always good.
Because then I don't get distracted by goats on Roombas on Twitter.
Right. Exactly. Goats on Roombas. You heard it first here on Ham Talk Live, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, we want to talk a little bit about a couple of traditions here, but before we go, and I actually tried to get a hold of Pete, KE5GGY, and I wasn't able to catch up with him. But the Santa Nat is going on. It's on 3916. And their new website is cqsanta.com. So that starts at 8:15 Eastern So make sure you check that out. And if you want to get somebody on the air to talk to Santa, 3916, and you can actually, I think, get on the list at cqsanta.com ahead of time, I think is what's going on with that. And we've got one more, but we've got a phone call, so let's take the call. And I believe this is Mark. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Neil and Katie. This is Mark, N4BCD, Huntsville Hamfest Chairman.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I decided to call Katie. I didn't want her to go off watching goats on Roombas YouTube videos. So I thought I'd break it up a little bit here, and we're moving quickly into the busy Christmas holiday season, yes. And it'll probably be the last night I have for some free time to wish you guys a Merry Christmas as we celebrate the holidays and pick things up in the new year.
Oh, thanks, Mark. It's nice to hear you, and Merry Christmas to you as well.
Yeah, and a Merry Christmas to you, Katie, as well, Mark, and great to hear from you as always, and appreciate you calling in.
Thanks. We're working hard on the Huntsville Hamfest website. We hope to roll that out somewhere between Christmas and New Year's, have some new content up there, along with the hotel codes and all that good stuff. But we're excited about 2020 Huntsville Hamfest. Of course, I think we'll all be getting together before that in Dayton, and even before that in Orlando in February. I know I'm looking forward to the warm weather in Orlando compared to the snow we had here in Huntsville this past week.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, you guys. Yeah. I'm used to snow, but you guys shouldn't be getting it down there.
Yeah, it was short lived, but people looked out the office windows at about 3:00 on what was it, Wednesday, I think it was, and everybody panicked and got on the road at the same time. The roads weren't bad, but the traffic was just gridlock. It was a fun night home.
Yeah. And if it's anything like it is here, the bread and milk were all gone.
Right, exactly.
We did not have what they call a full-blown liquor store emergency, but it was a bread and milk advisory.
Great.
Listen, guys, I missed the show tonight. I was helping my wife move Christmas decorations down from the attic, but like I said, I tuned in late. Just wanted to give you guys a shout-out. And Neil, really enjoy the show, and we'll pick it up again next year.
All right, thanks, Mark. And yeah, actually, I was looking for those hotel codes the other day, so that you just answered one of my questions. So we'll be watching for that information.
Thanks, Mark, and thanks
guys.
for all you do.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it,
Katie.
Bye-bye.
Best wishes. Happy holidays. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's Mark Brown in for BCD. Thanks for calling in. And we've got one last holiday tradition here, but Katie, first I got to ask, do you have any ham holiday traditions to share?
We did when we were first married, because we were, kind of building up our group ham shack here, consolidating our equipment. So it's not really a tradition, but we did have one fun year where both of us independently called Janet at the Anaheim HRO and ordered something for each other for Christmas. And so she knew what we were each getting, because she also wrapped it for us when she shipped it. And so when we opened up our presents on Christmas morning, we were laughing because the wrapping paper looked familiar. and we had given each other Heil headsets and microphones. So we had a Happy Heil Christmas one year, because that was literally all that was under the tree, was all ham radio stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
That was kind of fun, but that's probably it for our traditions as it goes.
Well, we're going to start a new one here on the show tonight.
Good.
About a week ago or so, we're on Twitter, and some of us that kind of hang out on satellite, some kind of joke around with each other. And Andrew Northam, KE8FZT, made an annual post of a song that his daughter Emily wrote. Emily is 11 years old now, and she wrote this song called the radio jingle. And so she wrote it out on a piece of paper. And so, Andrew's like, well, it's that time of year once again, and posts the song about ham radio and working satellites and all that kind of stuff. And so they had the radio jingle. And so that's kind of become a Christmas tradition for them. And so after seeing those lyrics, Josh, W3ARD, was joking about how that song was so much better than the Ham Talk Live theme song. And that I should take some lessons from her and have her song recorded with some style. So now, while we were joking around, as I do a lot of times, I took this as a challenge. So tonight, with the permission of Andrew and Emily, I'm now unveiling the professionally performed and recorded version of the radio jingle that we'll use throughout the holiday season right here on Ham Talk Live. Two professional musicians of the band named GingerSide in Bosnia recorded this. And here is the radio jingle right here on Ham Talk Live.
Standing in the snow with a brand new radio, catching the ISS, satellites are the best. A gate on the roof, repeater down the street. What fun it is to make contacts with everyone I meet. Oh, radio, radio, CubeSat Fox-1A. I like to get all the gifts around the USA. Hey, radio, radio, CubeSat Fox-1A. I like to get all the gifts around the
All right, so there you go, Emily. You wrote the song. Now we've got it recorded for you, and we'll use that here on the show. So there we go. And Josh, that'll save you from hearing the regular Ham Talk Live theme song for a week or two, anyway. So there you go.
A couple week reprieve.
Yes, a 2-week reprieve. There you go. So, Katie, it's been great. We're already over time, but any final thoughts here before we go?
No, I just would really sincerely say thank you so much for having me on tonight. It's been a lot of fun, and we sure appreciate it. And I'd like to say Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Happy Holidays to everybody out there in 7-3.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate all your gift ideas, and maybe I'll be looking for some of those things under the tree. You just never know.
You never know.
So, and maybe a cat under the tree.
Another one,
right? Well, I don't know about another one. That could get complicated around here, but. Yeah. But maybe we'll get some more cats of the Ham Shack posted.
There you go. Sounds good.
We got to find that hashtag. We got to get that. Well, that is a wrap for this week's edition of Ham Talk Live. Thanks to my guest, Katie Allen, WY7YL, and everybody in cyberspace for listening and calling in and typing in. And I invite you back next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for yet another episode. And for a list of all of our upcoming guests, visit hamtalklive.com. And if you like the show, please leave us a review on iTunes. That'll help us and help others find us faster. So for now, this is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, saying 7375, and may the good DX be yours.
Standing in the snow with a brand new radio, catching the ISS, satellites are the best. A gate on the roof, repeater down the street. What fun it is to make contacts with everyone I meet. Oh, radio, radio, CubeSat Fox-1A.